Hi, my name is Elena Poughia. I'm the Managing Director of Dataconomy, and I'm here with Ted Danning, who is the Chief Application Architect for MapR and others. So please introduce yourself.
So yeah, I work with MapR, and I'm also VP of Incubator at Apache.
Okay.
And help mentoring new projects that come into Apache.
Okay, cool. It's an honor to have you with us today. I think we tried so hard. We sent you multiple emails because I mean, what you're doing is fascinating, and we really want our readers and viewers to know more about it at Dataconomy Media. So first, it's a short intro, a short interview, so I'm going to ask you just 4 questions. Just to start with, can you tell us a bit about what you do and what's the favorite part of your job is?
So one of the things I do is to work with companies, customers, potential customers, to figure out how they can use open source and the MapR software that we sell to meet the needs that they have, to solve problems that they have, or solve problems that they could have if they want to move to larger scale data processing. And then of course there's a lot of outreach with the open source side of things. So that's a big part of my job as well. The best part of it, of course, is getting to meet people and talk to them about new stuff. There's so much new things coming in. People introduce you to exciting developments wherever you go. Like, hey, we're in Berlin, right? So I got introduced to Club Mate the first time I came here. That was new.
Are you importing things now? Are you importing Club Mate to your house, to your home in the US?
Well, that would be no fun at all. This is a Berlin thing. That's why I come to Berlin, is to have another Club Mate. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing, right? I love Club Mate. It can get you up for all night long. Honestly, like I can just drink Club Mate, 5 of the 6 of them, and then I'm good to go for a long time. And it's good. It's healthy as well. We can make it as an ad for Club Mate. But anyway, so I suppose it's very exciting for you to meet a lot of people, as you said. And I mean, what new developments do you notice in the open source community? What are the challenges? What are the exciting new things that you just mentioned?
Well, every year I come to Berlin, and every year Berlin is different. The Berlin I came to 5 years ago is no longer here. It's exciting, it's interesting, and the world changes underneath your feet here. It's amazing how fast it comes. And I don't know of any other place in the world where every year it ceases to be a new place. Other places, there's lots of things happening, but the change itself is a constant. And so I see a development here that's kind of on the spear tip of not just open source, but the idea that Europeans can easily build new ventures. And that's adventurous. Okay. It's exciting, and it's very, very interesting to come back each year and see a measured change in how the mentality around that works, what the impression of self-awareness and self-capability is, and how it changes, and even how the languages you hear on the street change. It's an exciting town that way. Yeah, that sounds very visionary. I love it. It gets you more excited. I live here, so I definitely share this passion, but I love your enthusiasm about the city, and I hope we can see you more and more often here in that perspective. So again, back to my questions. A lot of the readers in the Dataconomy are aspiring data scientists and engineers. So can you tell us how you got to where you are and today, and any tips you'd like to give to those people that they really want to get to where you are? No, I don't think I really can tell you how I got to where I am. Other than unbounded curiosity, I've always been very curious about a bit of everything. And so there's always somebody there who can teach you something new. And I can remember moments from being very, very young to older to much older when somebody in some moment told me something I didn't even know to ask for. Yeah. So, and then that, if you just listen and you hear these things and you go, wait a minute, how could that be true? How could that, what does that really mean? You can find these amazing, amazing things, connections. And so talking to people and learning from them is probably the real way that I got to where I am. And hearing what they say, not necessarily in the way they said it, but hearing what they said and then replaying it in a new place and then trying to see what the connection might be. So that's what I've always been, as somebody who drew connections and stood on the borderlands in kind of on the rate of exchange between different ideas and different intellectual places. And so you can always find interesting arbitrage there. And it drives me forward always to see these new ideas and new possibilities.
That's very inspiring. I mean, thank you. The sentiment is very inspiring. So I kind of feel it's strange to jump actually to a very different type of question that we like to ask today to the speakers here. But again, going to see how the possibility of technology is and engaging with everything new coming our way. We're thinking of robots and what they can do for us or what they can replace. And one of the questions that we're really curious to ask for technologists is, what would they really would like to use of a robot? What could they find helpful as a way to replace something that they need to do and just pass it to a robot? What would that be for you?
So to be kind of poetical about it, one of the most fun things that you might have a robot for is to go pick flowers in case you're too busy, so that if I don't have time to go smell the flowers and pick them, it would pick them for me. Now that's a little bit of an odd sort of thing, but it might be a good robot to have. More practically though, especially as people get older, having a self-driving car I think is a really valuable thing, especially in the United States where we've committed to lower density development. A lot of people, when they get older, lose the ability to transport themselves using cars and such. And so it's important to facilitate that somehow. If they can transport themselves, then they can live longer independently. And that's really a cool thing.
I suppose, yeah, I mean, we're thinking a lot of the future. I'm thinking a lot of the future. We actually have a conference happening in Berlin called Data Native, so we really want to focus on the person and how the technology would actually be, what would be leading for us in the future. So we're thinking about these things of how the robot could be of assistance or what can they replace, or, for example, the other question, which is our last for today, is whether if you were to choose one of the two, would you choose virtual reality glasses or a smartwatch or phone? What would you live like if someone told you you're stranded in this island and you need to choose one or the other? What would you choose?
I think I'd pick a hammer and a hatchet because the batteries are going to run out by 2 days from now. Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, batteries don't help much in those situations. I think I would go for something that doesn't impair my perception of reality. So, virtual reality might enhance it in some situations, but we have a long ways to go before just clear and open eyes are augmented to any real extent. So maybe it's an old fogey speaking there, but it seems to me that looking carefully at things has a long, long life ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I suppose if you were to look into the future for you, what is the thing that you currently, in this perspective, when it comes to virtual reality, let's say, or when it comes to robot, artificial intelligence, or when it comes to smart things, Internet of Things, what is for you the one that's coming closer to us to see the potential of it?
Well, I'm still thinking about your last question, so I'm going to revise that. Whatever has the biggest battery is what I would pick, because it could start the most fires. So, I'm very poor at predicting the future. Okay. And it may be that everybody's poor at predicting the future. It's just that I'm one of the people who realizes how bad I am at it. And some people have the confidence to make predictions anyway. What I often see are, as the future begins to appear, and there's a famous author who says, the future is here, it's just not evenly distributed, that very often the key skill is not to see it, but to see it when it's in front of you, and to be in the places where it comes earliest so that you can get a chance at it when it's still cheap. And so that I think is better than seeing ahead, is to see now and be wherever ahead is coming first.
Wow. I really like this. The power, in a way, the power of I like being able to be in the present and actually see what's happening now. And I think on this note, I'd really like to thank you for this lovely interview and hope to see you soon. Maybe next time at our conference as well, the Natives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always love to come back.